those who know me, people would know that I'm a great risk taker, right? How many are here are like taking risks? Okay. And others are risk averse. How many are risk averse? Like, no. Okay. Well, both are good. You know, I don't know if it's because I'm an extrovert. I love risk taking, and maybe the introverts are risk averse. Maybe that's it, right? I don't know. But for me, sometimes I could get away in taking risks. But sometimes I pay the consequence when I take that risk, right? And there was one time I was meeting with some friends from Toronto who are visiting, and then we're going to meet in one of the ski resorts in Gatineau, in Quebec there. And on the way, I was driving, I saw there's a signal from my gas tank, the fuel gauge, saying it's going to run empty. And I said, oh, there's still some kilometers left there, right? So I continued driving until it stopped. The car stopped. Oh my goodness. and I'm glad I was able to pull over. Otherwise, I will be in the middle of the road, right? And it was me. I went to the gas station and fill up this, what do you call this? Jerry cans? Okay, fill it up. And then I went to my car and then filled the gas tank, and it still wouldn't start. And I kind of realized, I think it's because I'm driving a hybrid car. So if I'm driving a hybrid car, even if I put gasoline already in the gas tank, it won't start. It has to be brought to a Toyota dealer, and then the Toyota company would have to restart the hybrid system. So for those who are driving hybrids, now you know, okay? So it totally ruined my day because I had to call a tow company, bring it to Toyota dealer, right? And then restart it, and it costs a lot, you know, to be able to do that. And I learned my lesson. I really learned my lesson. So right now, like if my gas tank is like a quarter only, I will go to the gas station. No more taking risks. And you know, in that experience, I kind of reflected that all of us have a love tank, right? And our love tank, sometimes it's full, but sometimes it's going to run empty, right? And the times that it's running empty are the times we're getting impatient, we're getting critical, right? We're being judgmental, we're being unforgiving or selfish. By that, you see that our love tank is running low, okay? And we have two options, right? Just like running low on a gas tank, we have two options, right? Either you continue driving and the car will just stop, or you go to the gas station. It's the same. Whenever our love tank is running low, it's a signal that we need to go to the source of love. And who is the source of our love? Jesus, right? Jesus is the source of our love, right? And I hope you don't wait that your love tank is really running empty before you go to Jesus, right? When you wake up in the morning, even if it's half full, go to Jesus already, who is the source of your love. Have him fill up your love tank to the brim, to the full, so that when you face like situations during the day wherein you will be tempted to be critical, judgmental, or impatient, there you have a reservoir of love so that you will not be able to fall into sin. And in our gospel today, Jesus said, I give you a new commandment. Love one another. Now, what is new with that? In the Old Testament, in the book of Leviticus, it's already said, love your neighbor as yourself. What is new in that? In the gospel today, Jesus showed what is new. He says, just as I have loved you, love one another. What he's saying is that you can't rely on your own, right? If you're not connected with me, who is the source of your love, you won't be able to love. Because there's a principle, you can't give what you don't have. And when we're connected with Jesus, we will be able to love even those people that we're struggling to love. Do you believe that? Yes? You seem not convinced. Do you believe that? Yes, right? When we're connected with the source and we're the channel, right? The love will just flow. We'll be able to love, right? And where did Jesus learn to love? Where? Huh? With his mother and father, right? With the Holy Family. When he was growing up in that home with the Holy Family, he learned to love, right? Mary and Joseph would teach Jesus to love. And as Jesus experienced the love of Mary and Joseph, he's able to love in return. And of course, we know Joseph would be busy doing his carpentry work. So Jesus would be with Mary. And Mary would teach Jesus how to love, right? And as we know, it's easy to love those who are our good friends, right? Good friends, family members that we're close to. It's easy to love those people. But there are other people that are hard to love, right? Some people we really struggle to love. Or sometimes we have a tendency to overlook and not love them. And this group of people, Mary taught Jesus to love, right? So the first group of people that Mary taught Jesus to love is to love the poor. And I could just imagine Mary and Joseph deciding, okay, we're gonna strive to live a simple life. Whatever income that Joseph would earn, they would set aside a money to give to the Jewish temple, and then a portion of the income would go to the poor, and another portion of the income is for their basic needs. And Mary would give Jesus some money, and when he would encounter some poor people in wherever they're living, he would hand out money or buy food for them, right? And that's why when Jesus was doing his ministry, he has a special place. The poor people has a special place in his heart. And they're called the Anawim. Anawim is a Hebrew word, right? It's a Hebrew word that means the poor who depend on the Lord for everything. They have a special place in the heart of Jesus. That's why Jesus said, whatever you do to the least of my brothers and sisters, you do it to me. The question that we have to ask ourselves, are we doing something for the poor? We live in a first world country, but there's a lot of poor people here, right? And one of our parishioners here just got inspired because she learned that the evangelization outreach ministry here would go out and evangelize people in the streets or in the mall, and we encounter poor people. So she just got inspired. She bought like maybe 25 $15 Tim Horton cards and donated to us and said, okay, use it. Whenever you go out and see a poor people, give them the Tim Hortons card, right? Instead of giving them money and we don't know where they would use it, right? Drugs or alcohol, at least here we know that they're gonna go to Tim Hortons and buy food, right? So maybe you might want to try that. Like have something with you, or maybe just some food or drinks with you that you could easily hand out. But just don't hand it out, right? Get to know them. Know that they are loved, right? And the other thing is, in our parish, we're having a big give here on June 7th, the first Saturday of June. And this is an opportunity it's like a free garage sale when people come and then they just get whatever they need. So this is an opportunity also for us as a parish to donate the things that we're not using. I'm getting ready to move to Toronto by first week of July. And I noticed oh my goodness, I have a lot of stuff, right? So what I'm thinking right now, whatever I haven't used for 1 year, I'm gonna donate it, right? My goal, all my stuff will fit in my car and my trailer, my small trailer. That's my goal, right? So look in your cupboard, look in your closet, look in your garage. Whatever you're not using, give it away. Because the more you give, the more you will receive, right? And the poor people will benefit from that. They will be able to use whatever you're not using anymore. Okay? So the second group of people that Mary taught Jesus to love is to love his enemies. And I could just imagine, especially when they were in Egypt, how Jesus was being bullied by Egyptian boys. Right? He's a Jew. So he's the odd boy out. So I could just imagine he was being bullied by other boys. And Mary would teach Jesus to love these kids and to forgive them. And even as an adult in his ministry, Jesus was being bullied by the Jewish authorities, by the Roman authorities, when he suffered so much in their hands and also crucified on the cross. And on the cross, Mary was there interceding for Jesus because she knew how much it is very hard for Jesus to forgive his enemies. And through her intercession, Jesus was able to say a prayer, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they're doing. And so Jesus knows how hard it is for us to love our enemies. So he modeled it to us. And he is giving us the grace to be able to carry it out. To be able to do what he says in Scripture, right? What he says in Scripture in Matthew chapter 5, verse 44 to 45. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that you may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. It's not easy, but it is not impossible. When we're connected with the source of love, Jesus will help us love our enemies. The third group of people that I think we overlook, have a tendency to overlook, to love, are the lost sheep, right? And I could just imagine Mary teaching Jesus at a very young age on how to share God's love to other kids, God's mercy, right? Even at a very young age, he was already learning how to evangelize, to share the good news, because Jesus would see how lost they are, right? That's why when he was doing his ministry, right? He says there in Matthew chapter 9, verse 36, when he saw the crowds, he had compassion for them because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. Later on, he would say in John chapter 10, verse 16, I am the good shepherd. I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that do not belong to this fold. I must bring them also, and they will listen to my voice. So there will be one flock, one shepherd. There's so many lost sheep out there. What are we doing to bring them to the Lord? Right? You know, here at St. Mary's, we will be entering year 2 of the revival plan this September, which is evangelization. And we have a ministry here, the Evangelization Outreach Ministry, that meets on the first and third Saturday of the month at 9:45, from 9:45 to 12 p.m. at the St. Catherine Sharon Room. And we would go out and really evangelize the people, share the good news, right? So I encourage you, right, to join us. You don't need to have experience as long as you're already a disciple of Jesus Christ and you have a willingness to learn. Come, join us. Maybe first observe. We will train you on how to share even your testimony and the good news to other people, right? And last April, we also had a very successful coming home event. And I think 15 new people came to this coming home event. And these are the people that we've evangelized on the streets or in the mall or in the houses here, or the spiritually curious. They came, like 15 of them. And they really enjoyed the talk that was given about God's love. They were inspired by the testimonies. And also they really enjoyed the table discussion, right? So these people were now accompanying them back to the church. As I've said, there's so many lost sheep out there. So many out there who haven't heard about Jesus, about the good news of the love and mercy. What are we doing in reaching out to them? Right? So St. Mary's, this is also Mary's house. And here, Mary is teaching us how to love. Right? And that's why I hope whatever you hear here at Mass, you know, the gospel, the readings, the preaching, don't forget what you've heard here. When you go home, maybe you have a discussion with your family. How can we apply what we've heard at Mass? Right? Because every family, you are also, is a school of love. Everyone there is being formed in that school of love. Hopefully you're able to, practice what you've been hearing here. And I know there are times wherein we're not successful. There are times wherein I struggle. I struggle to love these three groups of people. But the Lord is not after our success. The Lord is after our faithfulness. Are we striving? Are we making progress? So see, among these three groups of people, where are you really lacking? Right? And maybe decide as a family, find concrete ways on how to love these people. As I've said, on our own, we won't be able to do it. Right? We have to go to Jesus, who is the source of love. Our love tank should be full always, so that not only we will be able to love those who are our good friends or family, we will also be able to love the poor, our enemies, and also the lost sheep in society. And by doing that, people would know that we are truly disciples of Jesus Christ.